This is a business like any other. When you sell beds, you sell cupboards, because we also use timber to manufacture those things.
My name is Mlinge Boniface, a filmmaker and a journalist. Today I'm in Thika Town to investigate the coffin business in my series of Hustle Like a Boss. Also known as a casket, sarcophagus, or body snatcher, just to mention a few, all and sundry tremble and are engulfed with traumatizing fear when they hear the word. It is a box many would wish never to enter, but the sad reality is, everyone, including no one, will lie helplessly in this body snatcher. One of the characteristics of living things is death, and man is not exempted from this phenomenon. Different cultures hold different opinion about the coffin. Some regard it with high respect and they even dance around it when a member of their family is laid there. While others tremble and shake like breaking machines when a thought of seeing it crosses their minds. All in all, this dreaded box is the final fitting place for most, if not all. And today I'm hosted by Mr. Davy into his workplace. Outside, a group of young men cut, sand, plaster and paint an array of caskets in different shapes and sizes. Everyone in life is inspired by a certain desire to achieve a specific goal. Even the desire not to desire something is still a qualified desire.
Yes, I'm Mr. Mpuru Zachary Duffy. What inspired me in this business is, at a personal level, if I may say, I had a time that we had a burial of one of our family members during those time that ilikuwa kitambo kidogo at 1997 huko. I found that the coffin that we buried our sister with was not decent. It was those days that we used to make makeshift coffins at home using locally available materials, and that's how I finally decided that I can go ahead and start doing the same work in a professional way.
Driven by his spirit of enterprise and industriousness to overcome the hardships that life throws at us, Mr. Davy is determined to show me how he makes ends meet at his business.
Well, while making the coffin, we start by, first of all, you have to make the base, because even if you want to get a baby, you have to start by having a wife. So I start with making the base. This is the base of the coffin. After making the base, we have the top of the base. This is the top of it that we use to fill the bodies. If you may not, after making the whole coffin, now the base and the top, now you start assembling. These are some of the decorations that you usually make to make the work more beautiful. After this process, we go to what we call the finishing of the coffin. That is putting the handles here where the handles were put. This is one of the best coffin that we have, which is expensive than any other coffin in this workshop. After painting the coffin, then there is the dressing. If you may not mind, I can show you how we dress it. This is how the coffin is now ready for the final journey of whoever have gone. It's not me, but whoever have gone. So this is the final work that we usually do. These are the simple handles that we usually put on coffins, and there are different types of handles that we usually have. We have this one is not costly, but we have another, if you may not mind, I will show you just opposite next to you, which is the executive handle that we usually have. This one is called the swing bar. That's the most expensive bar that handle that we usually have. But is the executives.
Allow me to take you through a small but important journey of coffins. The use of coffins or coffin-like structures can be traced to the Celts and ancient Egyptians. In Egypt, bodies were mummified, placed in beautifully decorated stone boxes called sarcophagus, and buried in pyramids. As early as the year 700, the Celts were crafting burial boxes with woods and stones. They had been compulsory to everyone, and a coffin a necessity for most of us. I wonder if at one point Mr. David has ever thought of quitting his job.
Being a business, I don't think that in life I've ever thought of quitting the business, because it have done a lot to me. So I think quitting the business is not my option as per today. That the business is now commonly helping people, not only me. We have other people who are working with them, and in this business I think we are okay. I think the business is okay.
The making of wooden coffin is not significantly different from any other type of carpentry or cabinetry. In some parts of the world, skilled carpenters specialized in elaborate coffins. Italy has a vanishing tradition of hand-built burial caskets and a mastercraft. Men in Ghana continue to create coffins in fanciful shapes such as birds, cars, among others. The field of art is so huge and gives different artists a chance to showcase their prowess in the areas they are best at, and doesn't necessarily limit those who have mastered more than one art in their field.
We have so many types of coffins, and so many people think that this work is for those people who are not educated. My friend, we are educated. We are good in. If you have a business worth $1 million and above, it means you are educated. You cannot have to handle that a lot of money without being educated. Making these different designs of coffins needs somebody who is educated also, because there are those measurements that we use to measure. There are those type of colors that we usually mix ourselves. So you have to be somebody who is more educated, and to add to that, to know what type of coffee that you can make. You see a coffin in a phone through YouTube, and fortunately you come and make that coffin and you sell it.
Parents and guardians hardly allow their children to learn this specialized furniture making, posing a threat to the very existence and continuity of the enterprise. However, the death of any human being has nothing to do with whether coffins are made or not. Losing a beloved one is so painful. It needs a lot of empathy when handling such situation if you want to win clients over, for they are emotional bound, hence making Mr. David's work one of the most delicate in the world. I wonder how Mr. David deals with such clients.
There are some people who are not commonly used to coffins, such like customers. When they come into the office, you find them, most of them even scream at seeing the coffin and thinking who will be. At the end of the day, there will be somebody who will be right inside that coffin that is for burial. Actually, some of them we usually try to counsel them, showing them that this is the way, that everybody will have to pass through this path. So I don't think, and if we counsel them, most of them usually come to that being convinced that this is business and it will be, and this life, we usually show them this life is not permanent, is just something that is temporarily, and at the end of the day everybody will live there. We usually tell them, even I also lost my father and I have lost my sister, and I call it a day, because that's how we usually counsel people.
The sight of an empty new coffin can often give an average person chills, as the piece of furniture is a grim reminder of death. I try finding out which emotions go through him when clients come to purchase coffin.
Business is as usual. If you have to sell meat, you are selling meat. If you are selling coffins, you are selling coffins. If you are selling cars, you are a car vendor. So when you see your customers, a client come in your office, this is business. You usually say, well, it's a business like any other. When you sell beds, you sell cupboards, because we also use timber to manufacture these things, and that's why we usually say this is business like any other. So when I see someone coming to my office and looking for a purchase of a coffin, I think that is a day that I thank God, because I have got a catch of that day. Because okay, in any business, you are not supposed to worry. What people will say, do business that you have tackled from the beginning and make it a business that you live in it. Because when you start thinking, people will start saying that you naomba watu wakufe, my friend, you will not do anything, you will not go far. And that's why this collide with the question of number one, that I had at a personal level, my sister died, and I was inspired to doing the best work as a business. So I don't feel anything much, although I feel you have lost someone, but at the end of the day, I am not the one who have killed that person. It's God. We call it business because we don't kill people. So we usually give our service to those people, and at the end of the day, they are very happy, because at those old days, we usually used to have some coffins which are more solo, and now when we became to this business, when we came to this business, we made people to feel not more solo as it was there before, because the coffin is decent. You don't feel that that person is dead. It's just a peaceful send-off. So I think this business like any other. So I don't feel anything. I feel just a customer like anybody who have come to purchase a bed or a cupboard.
Raw materials used in casket making vary greatly. A Dulex coffin for a head of state may be made of solid bronze, while wooden caskets may be assembled from pine boards or use an expensive hardwood such as mahogany or cherry. For many people, especially in Africa setting, working as a coffin maker is often regarded as derogatory and shameful business venture, since its earnings are derived from one's demise.
Well, I have a family. I'm married. I got kids. I got also the extended family. They carried as business, because now currently to our current or to our modern Kenya. We are modernizing things. It is. We used to be at those eras of that everybody will think if you are working at mortuary, you are not supposed to be staying with the people. All they think that you are a drug. You use drugs to do that work. So I think my family, my friends, and everybody who is concerned in my family is okay with the business, because it means even in our family people die. Even in our family people die, and they usually come and consult me. What are we going to do? So it does not mean that you think that there are those people only who dies. Even in our family, people dies. So they take it as a business. They say, okay, they have seen the benefit of the business as per to where I am. So I think it's business as usual, like any other business. So they are okay with that.
Though not an orchestrated enterprise, coffin makers have been thriving in their businesses, going by the limited number of people involved in the enterprise as compared to the number of people passing on to the great beyond on daily basis. With success and failure being the flip side of the same coin, the biggest trick is how an individual views his or her own measurement of the same side.
The side of success, success is, I think, when you have a business, whichever business that you're doing, you have your goals and you have to set on what you are doing. To my success, I think so many things that I have done. I've built a good house, I've bought some few plots here and there. I have a transport vehicle from the business. So I think to success, I think it's almost 90% of my success. I have educated, my firstborn is at work. I have done, he has completed his O-level and college. I have my second-born who is at class 8 currently sitting for exam, and I think these are all successes from the business. It's I don't have any other side hustle that I usually go to hustle after this. Nikifunga hapa saa 12 I usually go home, so I don't have any other side hustle. So I think for success it's 90%. For failures only comes when in every business you can be heartbroken might be your customer may come tell you I would need this coffin, then next day come tells you I don't need this coffin. Those are just only some few and from very few. So I think failure, I don't see any failure in my business side, because if you speak about failure in any business that you fail, always we usually ask God when we wake up, give us our daily bread, and that's actually what we do. So counting on failures, let me say on failures I think it's almost 5%, but not to fail to the ground. Only that when sometimes you go, you come, utaenda nyumbani without anything. So you just tell God, well, today I have made nothing. Just look at me tomorrow. And by saying so, you have not killed anybody. So I think failure is almost 5%. So it's good. It's a good business anyway.
I'm sorry that I left you. I know you feel alone, but God told me that He needed me. He called me to come home. In what seemed to be an instant, in the twinkling of an eye, an angel gently took my hand and led me toward the sky. As I ascended into heaven, beyond the pearly gates, angels were rejoicing. Then I saw his radiant face. God's eyes shone down upon me from the glory of his throne. He said, enter into paradise, 'cause heaven's now your home. I fought the fight, I finished the race. Throughout the trial, I kept my faith. No longer do I suffer, my body's been made whole. I'm flying with the angels, and heaven's now my home. God told me not to worry. He said you'd be okay, because eternity's forever, and we'll meet again someday.